broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all, and we have a full house this evening, so we're going to have a very, very busy night, it seems. Folks, I want to wish you all a combination of wishes. First, we just passed Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. For those of you who don't know it, we have Employee Thank You Day on March 4th. That's Friday. So congratulations to all of you folks who are employed. And also coming up on the 17th of March, we have St. Patty's Day. So I want to wish you a happy, happy, happy everything this evening. I'm especially glad that coming up in a few weeks we have St. Patrick's Day, because I think everybody can certainly use that little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I'm anticipating that this March is going to be a real happy, exciting time for all of us. Let's cross our fingers for it. But a little bit of that luck coming our way is going to be very special. Folks, as we get started here, I want to just remind you all, I did get a few emails coming in to the website here beforehand, asking your question that I will be answering after if you don't get called on. Folks, please don't do that. I actually flush those emails. I can't look at them because if I see emails that are putting your question forward before this begins, it kind of jams my guide circuits. So if I get anything, it's going to get flushed. So if you did send me a email with your question before this hour started, you're going to need to resend it afterwards. And of course, that's because, as always, I want everybody who comes to have the opportunity to ask a question. So if my guides and I don't get a chance to answer your question during this next hour, I'm inviting you anytime between now and tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You are welcome to send me your one simple question. You can either send that to the email associated with this site, or you can send it to my assistant. That's Lisa, S-A Inc. at AOL.com. Either way, I'm going to receive that, and it'll take me a week or two sometimes to get back to you, but I definitely get back and answer those questions for you. Okay, and hopefully I'll be able to get to a lot of your questions this evening if I move a little bit quickly, and I will certainly try to do that. But again, if I don't get to them, you have a chance to ask those questions via email. Also, be specific with your questions, because the more specific you are, the more specific will be the answer that you get. Once in a blue moon, I get really great answers. When I'm connecting into my guides with just your astrological, information. So if you do email me a question afterwards, I need your birthday, month, and year. Okay, I need your birthday. To be, actually, even if it's, I don't need your day, month, and year. I just need your birthday. I need to know your sun sign. So that on with your birthday, I'll have your sun sign. So I need your birthday, and don't forget, always tell me what you're most grateful for, and tell me where you're calling from or where you're writing from if you're asking me a question after this session. When I call on you, or actually Lisa's going to be, she's in the chat room now. She will be answering your questions there all through the next hour. And if she sees a lot of questions actually coming in through the chat room that are on a specific topic, a lot of times she'll actually read that question from the chat room. So you can post your questions in there too for her to see. Meanwhile, she's the one who's also calling on whoever's going to get to ask a question. She usually tries to call on new people first, people who are visiting for the first time, or people that haven't had a chance to ask their questions live for a couple of months. Okay, so she gets to everybody eventually. Meanwhile, when I call on you, or when she calls on you, what we're going to want is your first name only, where you're calling from, because we do get people from all over the planet. So it's kind of fun to know where you're from. And also what you're most grateful for in your life right now, and your sun sign. Folks, using this chart here, this is called a horary astrology chart. Those of you who have been here with me before, and I recognize a lot of names, so I know a lot of you have been, you know that this is a throwaway chart. It's just for tonight. I cast it for 9 p.m. this evening, and it actually tells what's going on in the lives of everybody who's on the call. Isn't that wonderful? So if you give me your sun sign, I can locate you in this chart, and I can give you an idea of what's going on, what's coming up, and it will give me an ability to give information to everyone who's on the call. So folks, even if you're not the one asking the question, pay attention, because you're going to receive so much information about what's going on in your life and what's coming up while someone else is asking a question just from their sun sign, which is going to give a lot of insight into your sun sign and what's going on for you. Also, once we get done going over the sun sign stuff and the astrology stuff, I definitely want to know what your specific question is. So those are the bits of information. I'll remind you when we get to that. But before we jump in, let me just give a quick overview of what is going on and coming up. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping here. If you probably went to my website because that's how you signed up for this webinar, but do spend time on my website, peruse it, see what's there, because there are so many, not just programs to learn from, but learning tools. And also explore my VIP. I've just done another amazing thing with my VIP. We've got all of my psychic development, including Seeing Beyond the Veil classes on audio in the VIP program, which is only $20 a month. It's absolutely amazing when you get to be able to study just about everything in metaphysics, including my whole psychic development program, my whole astrology program, which is like a college degree in astrology, and it's all on MP3. Those are audio downloads or you can keep it online in your library if you're going to be a sustaining member. So you can go back for years and study that information, and it's only $20 a month to do this. It's like amazing, okay? At any rate, so explore the website if you haven't done that yet. There's so much there to see. That's why I wanted to take a minute to tell you about that. And also download the app. The app is still, a little bit iffy, but you can definitely do the psychic hour on the app. You can listen to all your programs on the app that you might have purchased. The one thing the app is a little touchy on, if you have an iPhone or an Apple product, it has a little trouble being interactive. But you can listen to anything on it that's on my website if you read the newsletter, etc., etc. So it's a great app. And if you have a Droid or if you're on a Windows computer, the app works fine both ways. It's totally interactive. Also, we have an open forum on our website right now. So please, one of the things you check out when you're on the website, check out that open community, because that open community is a place where you can post your thoughts, make friends with people of like mind. It's for you, okay? It's definitely for you. If you want to talk about things that were discussed in the psychic hour, get on that community and use it. It's safe, okay? It's safe. People of like mind. You're not going to encounter trolls or any of the weird things that are going on. It's a safe place to be you and to ask questions and to interact and to even sometimes get readings from people who are practicing them. So go and check that out. This is extremely important because note that my next show with Sharon is going to be on March 10th. It's coming up very fast, just a week from this coming Thursday. Her show is Luminescence, Common Sense Spirituality, and it is now on a new site. So here's the phone number to call in, and here's the website where everything is archived, and you can listen to her show every Thursday. I'm not on it with her every Thursday. I'm going to be on the next time, March 10th. But Sharon has this wonderful show every Thursday, and the last portion of the show is call-in, and you get to ask questions. So, and everybody here loves that. So please put this on your calendar, 3 p.m. Thursdays. And those of you who have heard Sharon, she's absolutely amazing. She's one of the best podcast radio hosts that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. So now, next Psychic Hour is March 27th. Please make a note of it. You don't want to miss that. and sign up for it. There's no reason you can't sign up for all these right away. And if you happen to be in my VIP program, the next coaching call for that is March 17th. So if you're a VIP, make note of that too. Now, did you miss any of these? These are web classes that are on my website. They're standalone classes, and they are all available for $25. The introduction to spirit communication and the I'm not psychic or am I, those will be there for probably forever. But this last one, what's happening in 2022, that's probably going to come off the site for a while. Well, I may leave it up. It depends how many people are interested in it, really. But I know that the one from last year, I listened to myself at the end of the year before I did the next one, and I was pretty darn amazed because I had given the information on that almost all the way through of the year and pretty accurately. So folks, if you didn't have a chance to attend that webinar, because all the attendees actually got the recording, if you didn't have a chance to attend it, it is a good webinar to pick up. Because if you're getting antsy or worried about what's going on during the year, you can take a look at it and feel better, okay? Because my predictions generally tend to work out, maybe not perfectly accurately, but pretty close, okay? The last thing I want to talk about are my two specials for March. That they're coming up starting in a couple of days, 2 days. First, I'm going to be doing a right path reading and coaching. You get that with me in my guide. It's my normal reading price, but what makes it so unique, I'm getting a whole lot of people, and probably some of you on tonight's call are going to have the same questions. I'm getting a whole lot of people right now who are realizing that their life is really up in the air and it's changing. And because there is so much insecurity and just plain craziness going on in the world in general, people are insecure, they're fearful, they're not sure if they're going to have the same friends, the same relationship partners, live in the same place. And like a year from now, where am I going to be? Well, it's at times like these that my guides and I shine because this is what we do. Okay, what I truly am more than anything else that I do is I'm a future-oriented psychic. Okay, I'm a channel, a future-oriented psychic channel. And so, yes, am I seeing things in the future with total, wow, I know this is going to happen? No, but my guides are pretty amazing with what they're able to predict. And they're also amazing at being able to coach you to help you to be in the right place at the right time so that the right things are moving forward in your life to get you to what you want to achieve, where you want to be, etc., etc., etc. So if you are one of those people who are having some difficulty with life right now, this reading is going to be imperative. And no, it's not on my site. It's one of my regular targeted readings. This is a special. Now, if you buy that reading, I'm giving you 50% off my Psychic Protection Tips course if you want to buy that too. And that's not an expensive course, but still 50% off of that gives you about 25% off of the reading. So it's actually a good idea to buy it because that discount means that you're getting something extra for both the reading and the course. Why am I offering the Psychic Protection Tips course at such a great discount? Because I want people to buy it, okay? It is not available at discount if you just buy the course. It's a great course. It's not expensive, but I want you to know if you get the reading, the course is 50% off. And it gives you great tips of how to protect yourself during these times. I'm big on protection. Everybody knows that. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with all my talking. And now it's going to be talking for you. Lisa, who is our first caller?
Okay, the first victim tonight is going to be Karen C, because we have a lot of Karens on tonight.
It's a Karen night. I find that it's a synchronicity. There probably are a lot of people with K names too, and not all just Karen. Names seem to go together. Birth dates go together. It's just amazing. People who all have black hair on the same night, it's synchronicity. Energy follows energy. So, Karen, you need to unmute yourself so that I can hear
Hi.
you. Hi there. And where are you calling
Okay.
from?
I'm Karen. I'm from upstate New York. I'm an Aries. Excuse me. And today I got two fat little new kittens I'm kind of grateful for.
You and I have something in common because I have two fat little Pekingese puppies I'm really grateful for. She's all day. And they are little furry things. So yeah. Okay. And it's funny, we both have two of them. They are fur babies are great. I love them. Um, it's interesting because you talk about having your two little fur baby kittens, and the sixth house in astrology. This is the sixth house. I got my cursor over. The sixth house in astrology represents pets, and this little jobby over here that looks like a circle with a squiggle on top is the planetoid Chiron, which is a healing planetoid. So this is saying that right now for everybody on the call, healing is coming through pets. So if you have pets, you're really getting this tremendous charge out of the interaction with them. So yeah, this is kind of cool. And it's funny that you mentioned that immediately. You're really grateful for them, and here they are, your little pet healers. Um, Aries is the sign on the seventh house cusp. You'll notice 14 degrees. So there were 30 degrees in a sign. So half the sign is in the house of pets and daily life activities and also health. And the other half of the sign is in the relationship house. So, Sharon, I'm going to assume that pets and relationships with just about every person in your life have been on your mind a whole lot recently. Okay. And what's kind of interesting is that if you are a Aries or uh, the other cardinal signs are Cancer or Capricorn or Libra, all the things that I'm talking to Karen about are going to have a powerful effect on you. So please listen closely if you're one of those signs. Karen, you have got this built-in hard aspect, and this is kind of an interesting one because here's Aries on the cusp of the seventh house, which is normally ruled by Libra. Astrology lesson, folks. Libra and Aries are opposite on the chart. It's like a seesaw. So she's got her sun sign on the opposing house. This is like a built-in tug of war all by yourself with relationships. Okay? And there is a hard aspect here, a square, to Capricorn, which is in the Cancer house, its opposing sign. Cool, huh? So basically, you've got some severe problems with authority, maybe with work issues, bosses, maybe with people in the family who are either older or that you're feeling responsible for or who have some control problems. So there's all these issues going on. And guess what? Even if you're totally alone and you don't have anybody in the family living with you, you still have them living inside of you in your psyche because of your own natural patterns and behavioral responses that you got when you were 3 and 4 years old. Okay, from how the family was treating you or handling you. So there are some. This is a built-in cardinal grand cross, is what I'm telling you guys. And I know that's astrological lingo, but what it means is that no matter right now, folks, if you're a cardinal sign that's an Aries, a Libra, a Cancer, or a Capricorn, you feel like no matter what you do, it's not right. If somebody says that they want the spot you're standing in, and you walk 2 feet over, somebody else is going to want that spot. Okay, that's the way it feels to you right now. It feels that you just can't make anybody happy. So, and in fact, it feels like you're trying to make everybody happy all at the same time. So you might be running for the boss and running for your father or your mother and running for the cats and running for your girlfriend and running. You get my point? You're going all over the place trying to be all people, all things to all people, and you're not really pleasing anybody except making yourself a little bit crazy when you're doing all this. Am I sounding a little bit familiar? to what's going on with you right now, Karen?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay. Now, what do you think the solution is? I'm going to ask you this question because you are a very bright light. What do you think the solution is when you're stuck in a cardinal grand cross? There is a
Well,
solution.
my solution has been to say, okay, do it your way, and I walked away.
Okay, that's a
But
leap.
I also retired, so I don't have to be, nice to anyone right now. I just say, okay.
Uh-huh. Okay, and now there are many solutions, and Karen just offered us one. And that, by the way, is a Libra solution. When Libra people have it up to here, they say, I'm done, and they just walk away. Takes a lot, though. It really does. Takes a lot to get them there. But when they're finally there, they're done. Okay. So that was a Libra solution. And you also mentioned another solution. I don't, because I'm retired, I don't have to be careful anymore. Now that's an Aries solution. I left and tough. That's an Aries solution. So you actually offered two solutions there. There is another solution here that I would share to some of our other cardinal people who are still in the working world and still have to toe the line. When you're faced with that kind of situation where everybody wants you all at the same time, you have to organize and prioritize and don't leave yourself out. And what that means is that you spend a little time with this one and then you pull your energy back. A little time with this one, pull your energy back. A little time with this one, pull your energy back. Think of yourself as being stuck in a box and you're the guy in the middle. And you have to spend like a room that needs cleaning. You got to clean one corner, then you come back to the middle. That's time for you. Take a breath. Clean another corner, come back. Time for you. Clean another corner, come back. Time for you. Notice how I'm fitting time for you in the middle of all this. Okay. If you think about that cardinal grand cross like that, and eventually, if you spend a little time in each corner of that space, or with each person who's in that corner, you'll eventually get all the messes cleared up, or guess what? They will die of attrition and no longer be important. That happens too. Okay. But the important thing is that you're creating a balance that you can live with and you're giving time to yourself. But folks, if you're a cardinal sign right now and you're not setting boundaries and you're not prioritizing and organizing, oh my God, you could be hating the whole wide world. You're that chicken running around in that endless circle with no head. Okay, and not knowing who's going to want something from you next. Okay, so take those three different solutions and use them and apply them. Karen, thank you. Those were some great solutions. Karen, what is your specific question?
Well, I, for retirement, was going to travel overseas, and for the last 2 to 3 years, it's been canceled due
Yeah,
to COVID.
yeah.
Now that it's opening up, there's a war going on over there, and I'm supposed to go over to Italy in June. Do you see me going overseas in June?
I do. I see you going overseas in June, and I see you having an absolutely marvelous, wonderful time. Karen, do you have family over there?
Not in Italy, no, but I'm going with my cousin.
Okay, that's where the family comes in because it actually is looking almost like this joyous family reunion kind of a time. I think it's going to be great. And around that same time, it looks like somebody in the family is either getting married or having a baby. It feels like it's a very joyous time. I think that's going to be good.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And I'm really happy to hear that too, because I am also feeling, I'm one of those cardinal signs too. Actually, I'm not. I have a Cancer rising though. I'm a mutable sign, but I'm a Gemini. But I have Cancer rising, which gives me a lot of mutable energy too. And I, like you, am a lover of travel and had all these trips planned and have lost a whole lot of money on them, but also am really getting itchy about, hey, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. So I'm really happy to have just heard that you're going to get to take your trip in June because that means I'm getting to go too. Not with you, my own place. Okay. Karen, thanks for asking that question. I think that was very helpful to everybody. Let's just look at the astrology chart here too. If this, I'm gonna do something we call spinning the wheel. in astrology, the ninth house is the house that's all about travel and trips. And if this is where her first house is, 9 houses later, okay, brings it over to here. And look at this. The sign that deals with travel is Sagittarius, and it's on that house cusp. That's a yes. Both with the cards, with my channeling, and with the chart. 3 big yeses. I like redundancy. I think you're going.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question. And Lisa, who's next?
Our second person tonight is going to be Ivy. Ivy, can you unmute yourself? There you go.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you.
Hello,
Hi, Sandy.
Ivy. Nice to talk to you.
Nice talking to you. Boy, you were so right about this year and what's going on in the world, at least a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the things that I predicted in my What's Happening in 222 webinar is that by April, all that major craziness is going to be done. Now, look where we're at right now. Okay. And I also, in this month's newsletter, I got to tell you, I wrote my editorial, which you guys have all seen. I wrote my editorial before this war in the Eastern Europe started. Okay. And in that newsletter, I said March is going to come in like a lion, but go out like a lamb politically, economically. And it will. You watch.
I will.
I do not know how. I really, I have to be honest with you. I can't claim this one. My guides do that. I have no idea how they do it, but they're pretty amazing. So I give it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm grateful for. Thank you, guides. Yep. So, what sign are you?
Okay. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
And I live in California, and what I'm grateful for is pretty much everything in my life. I feel very blessed at this point in my life, although there's some areas that are a little trouble areas, and that's where my question comes in.
Okay, well, before we get to your specific question, let's add all of the fixed signs, because Aquarius is a fixed sign. And the fixed signs are Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And boy, is there a lot going on in this chart for the fixed signs. First of all, remember there are 30 degrees in the sign, and 16 is right on this cusp over here between the 4th house and the 5th house. So you've got energy going on having to do with the home, the family, your own mothering, your children, motherhood, mothers in the family, women in the family, family members. You've got a lot going on with family. Look at how filled up this whole house is. These 3 planets are in Capricorn, the moon's in Aquarius. But nevertheless, all 4 of them are going to connect in with what's going on for you. A lot of family and home-oriented stuff. And it also connects to the 5th house, which is children, or also your fur babies, if you consider them children, would fall in here. And also, if you're single, love interests would fall in here, And if you have children, believe it or not, they're love interests. And if you're a really creative person, you're artsy, that's going to happen in this house too. So you've got a whole lot of energy going on in these things having to do with all those issues. But we have a square hard aspect over here to Uranus in North Node in the house of other people's money and stuff. So every time you get ready to do something creative, every time you get ready to do some work on the house, do something that you need to do with the family, resolve something, all of a sudden legal issues get involved, financial issues get involved, the government changes mandates, and it happens like, bam. It's almost like you have to make a decision and they change something.
Yeah. Almost ready, but yeah, that changes.
Yeah. And we also have a hard aspect between all these planets I've talked about here, and there's a ton of planets that are going on, a lot going on in your everyday world. And here it is. It's also squaring the money again, 2nd house in Scorpio. And here we have that interesting thing. Scorpio and Taurus are oppositions on the zodiacal wheel. And we have a built-in, Scorpio Taurus tug of war going on here with money, having to do with how you earn your income, how you have your money separated from everybody else's. And right now you're feeling like you have to hide it because it goes away if you don't. And over here, We have in this house up here, we have other people's money, and it feels like they've got their hand in your pocket. You want them to put their money in it, and they're saying, no, you come up with this. And guess what? Watch my cursor. These two houses are opposite. Think of them as the crossing part of a T. And here's the bottom, the upright part of the T, that if you follow it, empties into this cusp up here between your career and your friends. So your way, your best way of dealing with all of the stuff that's going on, that's got you. And it really does. It's got you, because you tend to fixate. You tend to be a little bit over mentalizing things, overthinking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Best way that you can step out of that and be free is to put your energy into your career. Okay? If your career is working in your home or other people's homes, you need to get out of that space. Okay? You need to do your career, but you need to do your career away from where all those other people are who grab at you. Okay? And you also need to spend more time with friends and get this, groups that are connected to both your friends and your career and aspirations, because that's where your opportunities are coming from. And oh my goodness, there are wonderful opportunities around you. But you're having a tendency to get so mired into all this other baggage stuff that you're missing all these things that your friends are telling you about and that are coming to you through the groups that you belong to and the things that you hear about. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're letting a
Absolutely.
lot of those things go by because you're a very responsible person. And you keep feeling like, if I don't pay attention to every detail, if I don't dot every I and cross every T, I'm going to let somebody down and the world's going to crash and we're all not going to be happy. And, you're robbing yourself of opportunities that are fabulous because you're getting mired in the minutiae. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your specific question? And by the way,
Well,
I said to her, folks, if you are a fixed sign, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, you're experiencing the same things that she is. Okay, go for it. What's your specific question?
Well, ironically, I'm actually having problems at the workplace, and I'm a little, well, actually not a little, I'm a lot disillusioned with my role and the people I work with.
Hmm?
So I was wondering if this would be a good time for me to like rethink, where I'm working. Should I be looking for another job? Other than that, everything about the job is fine, but it's the people and the situation that I'm currently in.
And
It's a little
yeah,
toxic and a little dysfunctional. So,
yeah, and I already no. I'm going to sound so mean, but I already gave you your answer. I said,
yeah.
what you need to do is to, if you're working in your home or if your workplace is like a home, you have to do your work in another area. You've got to get away from the people, away from that space. Okay. And
Uh-huh.
that is because what's interesting is, I don't know if you have your own business or if you work from the home but this Capricorn is the sign of business and career. And it's in the house in the chart that represents home and family. So you are the person that ends up feeling so responsible to the people you work with. It's like they become family members. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And, so you can't you go home to get away from work, and the people at home are your responsibility, and you don't have the energy for them, and they're making you miserable. And you go to work, and the people at work feel like your family, and they all hold your nose to the grindstone, and they play into your responsibility, and they all make you feel like you're not doing your job and you're letting them down. And so you can't get away. Okay.
Nope.
You're going to have to find, if you can't physically get out of the workplace to do your work, you're going to have to find that place in yourself that is objective and distant. Now, why am I saying it this way?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you quit this job and go to another job, it's going to be the same. Okay?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm going to ask is a different question. I'm going to ask this question for you. I'm going to ask, when we finally deal with all of this health stuff and political stuff and economic stuff, when this time in our Earth's trajectory is finally done, we're going to come out of it. This isn't permanent and forever. Okay, when all this is done, okay, are people going to be nice on the job again? And look what I pulled. You're going to have your happy family at home. You're going to have your happy family on the job back again. So what's really happening is that everybody's coming and dumping on you and expecting you to fix everything, because that is what you have spent your life doing. You spent your life fixing everybody else's problems.
Mhm.
Their lives aren't working, and they're miserable, and they're unhappy, and all they have to do is turn the TV on any day of the week, and it makes them feel worse. Okay? And then
That's why.
yeah, and they come into work and they want to unload on you, and they're negative and they're nasty, and you unfortunately are trying to save them all and fix them all.
Mm.
So what do you have to change in yourself so that you can live with the situation and allow them to be exactly who they are? If they want to be miserable, don't they have a right to be miserable?
Yep.
Yes.
I can't fix them. That's not my responsibility.
You have grown, haven't you? You've learned that.
Yep.
That
A hard lesson.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm going to say this, and please don't take offense, you folks from California. I read for hundreds of people, thousands actually, and just not all at the same time, thank God. But during this COVID period, honestly, I think that the West Coast of the United States has had it worse than anybody else. And I think California has been the hardest hit state in terms of all the restrictions and the lockdowns and the weird stuff that happened day to day, the constant changes going on. So if you've got a lot of people out there who aren't happy, and they think that you might have some way of making them happy, and they're on your case, I can't blame them. Okay, and you shouldn't blame them either. It doesn't mean you should let them use you, abuse you, or dump on you. You have to set boundaries. You've got to really find a way that you can live with the current situation and not allow yourself to be affected by it.
Mm.
See, my guide to saying the job is still the job. You
Mhm.
still enjoy the work, and you still do a good job with what you do. You
Yes.
you said it was the people, and you're absolutely right. And as long as you're going to be in California, or at least the part of California you're living in and working in, that's not going to change.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay. Got it.
Sorry to lay that on you, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? And you can keep your happiness around you, and when you find a group that's getting very negative or down, excuse
Mhm.
yourself from that group and go find a group that's very upbeat and happy. That's what this chart's saying. The chart's saying your solution is going to be in different friends.
And
Okay.
different.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Makes
Good
a lot
luck.
of sense. Thank you so much.
And again, I have to say thank you for your question, because I think that your question is mirrored in many, many other people who are on the call tonight.
Yeah.
Lisa, you
Great.
next. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to your guides too, and Lisa.
Thank you.
All righty. Our third person tonight is going to be Carolyn. Carolyn, can you unmute?
Another Karen.
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Okay, thank you. She probably didn't know who you were calling on. It sounded like Karen. Okay.
I
Carolyn.
think she understood my Texas drawl. Carolyn, can you unmute? Okay, we might have to move on to the next person because Carolyn's not responding. We'll come back to her. And we're going to go down to Tina. Tina, can you unmute?
Yes, good evening. Thanks for taking my question.
You're welcome. Hello, Tina. Good to talk to you.
Hello. Yes, my name is Tina. I'm calling from Iowa, and I am a Scorpio, and I am extremely thankful for my family members. They are all safe and healthy, and that thankfulness really ties into my question this evening.
And I'm not going to go back over all that fixed sign stuff because you know it. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
So what's your specific question?
My question is, in and around 2019, I had started to encounter very dark and spiritual experiences around me, and in particular my home. It was so bad, I had to hire a medium who specializes in remote spiritual work out of desperation. He informed me that I had some evil spirits and portals in my home that were activated. He cleansed that out of my energy field in my home, and things felt lighter and better. That occurred in January of 2021. Shortly thereafter, in March 2021, and this is my question, I hosted a sleepover for my nephew and his 5 best friends. That evening, they decided to pile into 2 separate cars to run out for snacks, less than a mile from my home. One of the cars hit another car head on, and they either perished by impact or by burning to death, the boys in that car. And so my question is, did any of the spiritual warfare that was going in and around me have any way caused that car accident that evening?
Oh, I definitely understand your question. You've been carrying that for a while. My guides are saying no, it did not.
Okay.
And there's something else that you need to know. Everybody on the call needs to know about this one. Can I ask you to mute your mic so we don't get any feedback from the mic at this moment? Okay. Folks, around 2000, I'm going to restart that sentence. A lot of you are already aware of it because so many of you on this call are interested in metaphysics, have been following it for a long time, and you're very energy sensitive. Folks, we have been in a war, not a political war or an economic war or a war between Russia and all kinds of other nations like Ukraine, okay? We've been in a war between the light forces and the forces of dark for many thousands of years. You're aware of that. I'm not trying to get religious on you, but we've been in that war. It's been out there. And as we move and are moving from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, we are also evolving from a 3rd dimensional energetic response to a 5th dimensional energetic response. Now, what does that mean in English? It means that the dark forces that were happily enjoying anything they wanted for thousands of years are going away. They can't vibrate in the 5th dimension. They can't live without a different structure in the Aquarian age. They're going away. Those beings, I'm not talking about human beings, I'm talking about energetic beings on the other side, dark forces, which is what you were bringing up, okay? Carolyn, very few people want to talk about this. Many, 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 many people have the feelings about it and say, no, because they don't want to see it. But the fact is that we're going through a transition right now. Now, in 2019 is when those dark forces, imagine these nasties hanging on to the ledge of a building with their last fingertips, having a hard time holding on as we evolve. And that's the way they were. And so they get together and they gang up and they would pick on anyone in the light. And you got picked on because you were in the light. It wasn't that you brought darkness into your home. Please understand that. You got picked on because you were someone who could make a difference. Every single person that I know a lot of people who are light workers, a whole lot of them. And every single person that I know who's a light worker has attracted the darkness in a tremendous amount of discord and has had to fight their own battle to get rid of those people or those dark energies that are hanging on to that parapet. Let them fall because they can't go where we're going. Okay? Very likely, the boys that were in that car brought the discord into the slumber party with them. More importantly, you're forgetting that it was a head-on crash. Okay? And synchronicity comes into there then. We've got to have a group of kids in a place that they're being drawn to because of the like energy of the other card. This like attracts like to create that. I hope you're with me on what I'm saying. So they had that discord between them. The other car had that discord going on. It's called being in the right place at the wrong time because energetically they allowed themselves to slip into that direction. You did not cause that. You also didn't cause the problems that were in your house. You were being attacked, and you were smart enough to get help. I applaud you. Your guides applaud you. You have a woman in spirit, I think it's a mom, who says, good girl. Okay? Want to unmute and comment?
Just thank you so very much. It really hit home everything you said, and I so appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, I could tell you one day I will write a book, but not now. You know, I'm careful about how much of this, you've noticed this, I'm careful about how much of this stuff I let out. I let it out in little bits and pieces because I don't want to scare the jinkers out of people. Okay? People get frightened when they hear this stuff. It's bad enough to hear that there are, real world people having fist fights in the streets. It's really hard to understand that those two people having fistfights are being manipulated by dark entities on the other side that want to create chaos so that they can feed off the energy and hold us from our evolution on the path. They want to hold us back. So turn your attention away from the darkness, folks. Turn your attention away. Don't focus on it. That's why there's so much protection on my website. That's why I do protections every time I do a webinar. We only work in the light. We only bring in the light. We only address the light. And when we find darkness, we don't attack it. We turn away from it. It will find its own level. Okay? And I have a feeling that helps everybody. Okay? Everybody on the call. So once again, thank you so much for asking the question. Okay, Lisa, who's our next person?
We're going to try Carolyn again and see if she got her mic fixed.
Hi.
Hello, Carolyn. Carolyn,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Can I ask you a quick question? Whenever
Yes.
somebody's about, this is interesting to me. Whenever somebody's about to come on, when Lisa's about to call on them, I always draw the cards before they're actually online. My guys know who's coming next. So I've got to ask you, did you suffer a loss somewhat recently that has a lot of concern for you, somebody who either passed or removed themselves from your life in a way that has left you left no closure?
Absolutely. I lost a nephew in July.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I had drawn these three cards before Lisa couldn't get to you, so she called the last caller, who also had that major loss. So I'm sitting here thinking, are these really Carolyn's cards? Or maybe they were hers because they fit you both. Wow. Okay, so
Yes.
the cards that I drew for you, Carolyn. This is the death card. Okay, there's your nephew, and I don't know if that was your sister's son, but it looks like it was very close to you. Either it was your sister's son or it was a child who really felt like he was yours. Okay.
Yes, he was my sister's son and also my godson.
Okay. And this card, it speaks for itself. This is an inverted Two of Wands, and you're just, the problem that you're having with closure here is that he was so young. And it's not that they're wow, I didn't understand what happened, or it's that you are having difficulty with the whole concept that somebody who had so much to live and so many dreams and so much to share and was such a bright light, how could they be gone? Is that making sense to you?
Yes, and he leaves such a huge hole.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to alert you to something that I discovered a long time ago. Okay. I do after death charts. You probably have seen that on my website. And along the way, when people would come to me and they want to know what their loved one was doing on the other side, and they'd want to have closure, and I could do that using the astrology that I work with. and my guides, of course. And along the way, I realized that a lot of very brilliant, very bright lights were dying for what felt like no reason at all. They were just poof, they were gone. And then from looking at the charts and the connections between the people that they left behind that loved them, I realized something. Sometimes when there's this perfect love, this perfect balance between people, and one of them crosses to the other side, but the energy of unconditional love is still there between them. There's nothing that is vengeful or animus or you didn't do this for me, just pure love. Just, I love you. I miss you, but man, I love you. And he feels it and you feel it and his mom feels it. There's nobody mad at anybody here. There's nobody expecting anything of anybody here. There's just all this love coming through the veil. Do you feel what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, guess what? A whole lot of people, not just your nephew, have died with that feeling. And it's one of the reasons why we're moving to another level evolutionary-wise. Because those people who've passed on with that love have such a powerful bond to people here with that love that it's helping. We're lifting ourselves, but they're helping to pull us up too. You feel it?
I see that.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I have to be, again, I have to be careful who I tell this to, because of course it's not everybody, but so many people have passed because that was it from a higher self point of view, from a spiritual point of view, not the personality, but the higher part of them. It was their choice to pass over so that they could help change this whole world, this whole universe we live in. It's powerful. This is very, very powerful. You guys are coming up with some very super esoteric things tonight. It's very, very interesting. I think this is an interesting group. I didn't give you a chance. Where were you calling from? What are you most grateful for? And what's your sun sign?
Well, I'm from Baltimore. I am a Cancer, and I'm most grateful for my family.
Okay, well, we already talked about all the cardinal signs.
Right.
So, what's your specific question?
And you'll have to tell me if this is appropriate for this venue. I had the strangest dream this afternoon, and it's not long, it's short, but I don't know if that's something that this is the appropriate venue for that.
You can ask any question you like.
Okay.
Go
Can
for
I
it.
tell you very briefly what it was?
Sure.
Okay. Very beginning, just snippets. At one point, my sister, for reasons unknown, is waiting for me to get in her car and take me to the doctor. I'm running late. She's irritated. Snippet number one. Snippet number two is I am waking up from, I guess, being passed out. This makes no sense at all. My husband is driving the car. He's holding me in his arms while he's driving the car. And I wake up and I look outside, just see clouds floating by, the sun, and, the sky going by. Snippet number three is I'm in the hospital. My husband says that I had passed out. I'm awake now. Two doctors walk in for reasons. They never said this, but I know in my head that they are neurologists. And they say to me, you have multiple myeloma. End of dream. Now, I have no idea what multiple myeloma is. I have to wake up and look it up, and it's a blood cancer that's created in the marrow of your bones. Now, I didn't have any emotional attachment to that, but I don't know what multiple myeloma. Why am I hearing something so specific?
Yeah, and because of course, in a dream like this, you're saying, "Is that a precognitive dream?" I'm going, it could be. But as you were talking, I was asking, is this referring to you? And mind you, please forgive me for this, but if you're going to be brazen enough to ask this question online, I'm brazen enough to give you an honest answer. I could be wrong, but my guides are saying, no, this is not you. And I think, though, that, it would be somebody perhaps that either you are close enough to that it could, in your dream, it could appear to be you, or it could be somebody that you have a great deal of concern and a sense of responsibility for. Okay.
Mhm.
But I think this is going to happen in your world. You're getting this picture of it. Okay. And when I asked my guides, is it any of your close loved ones? I asked if it was your sister. I got to know. But I do think
Okay.
it's one of your close loved ones. I think it's going to be somebody close to you. And, you know, this, again, I hate to be political about this whole thing, but I have to say it because my guides are bringing it out. I don't know if you are vaccinated or not. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not a pro-vaxxer. You know, I think everybody has to make their own decisions and choices. But I have done some, my guides didn't want me to get vaccinated. So I've done a whole lot of research on it. And unfortunately, the vaccines and the boosters they're creating health issues for people. And so I don't know if you work in the health field. I'm getting a no, you don't. But
No, I don't.
you either, but somebody around you does work in the health field. Okay.
Yes.
I think that person is are they the one getting? I don't think they're the one getting sick. I think they're the one who's going to go through this major, uh, God, like becoming a whole new person because they're going to understand everything that's going on and not be able to handle it or do anything about it. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. I think this was a dream from the higher self, and I think it was a very important dream because it's going to affect you and your family in some very important ways. And it's not just because somebody is going to die; it's because of a situation around whatever this is.
So my question would be, could it not be a physical thing? Could it be because there's a lot of spiritual growth going on in my immediate family, a huge amount?
Absolutely, absolutely, and maybe one of the reasons my guides were bringing up the vaccines and all the stuff around them is because the stuff that's going on in our world is fostering that spiritual growth. People are waking up. They're becoming aware that the world is not the Ozzie and Harriet safe spot that we all thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, in the long run, folks, this waking up is going to be a very good thing. In the short term, it's not good. Nobody wants to wake up to the fact that it's not a sunny day outside. There really is mud, and we unfortunately have to walk through it to get to the car. Yeah, and I'm simplifying, but you get my point.
Sure. And I always felt like, I don't know, first of all, I usually don't have dreams like this. So this was very unusual. But I also feel like 2022 seems to be a year of seeing things and tough conversations.
Yeah, yeah. You're having a very important dream, and I'm glad. I hope you wrote it down
I
because
did.
this is one of those dreams that 20 years from now is still going to be playing out symbolically.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good luck to you, and thank you again for asking that question. I have time, just 3 more minutes. I have time for one last caller, Lisa, who's going to be our last person this evening.
Yeah, that lucky person is going to be Lori P. Lori, can you unmute?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Lori, I can.
Okay. Hi, Sandy.
Uh,
I'm Lori. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm a Cancer, and I am super grateful for my health and for my beautiful dog and all of his love. And my specific question is actually pretty specific to me. I'm putting together a book proposal and starting to send it out to some agents. It's a book about dogs. And I just was curious what you saw and if you saw any timing, because these things can take a long time, but just looking for some information that you might have for me about that project.
I'm excited about this. So your guides. Have you published anything before? Or is this
I have.
Okay, so you're familiar with this whole scene. My guides are saying that first of all, I don't know why they're showing me this. This is a contract card. It's an inverted devil. It doesn't mean black magic or anything like that. This is a Capricorn card. It's an inverted devil, and it says that be wary. Get your contract like double looked over because sneaky stuff is going to be in there. Okay, so that probably means that the publishing industry or the publishers maybe you've worked with before are changing. Okay, anyway, that one bothered me a little bit. But this card, the Hermit right side up, says, wow, you know a whole lot about this. That's why I was asking if you had published before, because either you or somebody close to you knows the ropes, so you're on top of that. I don't know why I should have turned up an inverted 9 of Cups. Have you been rejected by a publisher, or have you wanted to publish it in a different way than you want? Because this says I'm not really getting what I want here.
Not this book. The book that I self-published years ago, I just sort of gave up and said I'm publishing it myself, but this one I haven't sent out to anyone yet.
Okay, now you just explain why I'm getting this. Because you've published before, but you haven't published through a publisher before, and so you kind of got this negative attitude, girl. You're doing it, but you're having this attitude of why bother? Okay? Change the attitude. Change it. Okay? I think that you're going to find somebody. This is a great card. It says that the guy that you're going to work with, and I don't know if that's an agent or if this is a direct line to the publisher, but this is somebody who's honest and is going to give you some good direction. And this is the ace in the hole, literally. This is an ace of swords, and it's about this is the literary field. Swords is always about things mental and written and communication, and it's upright. It says absolutely you're going to get it published, okay? And you will have help. You're going to have somebody you can trust that you can work with. So good.
Great, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And yes, that was pretty specific to you, but Cancer, you're right up here on the top of the chart. So folks, if you are a cardinal sign, yes, you've got all that chaos going on in your life. But if you are a Cancer, it's also really all about your career and about taking that step forward right now, which is exactly what your question was all about. Oh, I do so love astrology. Thank you very much. And I wish you lots of luck. I think this is a really good thing to be doing. And I'm going to tack something else on that too. It's not uncommon for you to get your, even if you were self-publishing everything, get your second or even third book published before the first one starts to get recognition. So don't throw that first book away yet.
No, I've always believed that.
Yeah.
That it was going to be through the second book that people found the first book.
Yes, my guide is saying there are going to be 4 books. Now they could be more than that, but they're showing 4. And they're saying that the first book is going to come out on the heels of the other. I don't know if it's 4 more or 3 more, but it's going to come out on the heels of those that future ones that you're writing, not just that first book.
Okay, fantastic.
That first one feels like it had something to do with family things, and it's going to catch on.
I hope so. It was my heart.
Yeah, well, and that makes sense. The thing is, it will catch on. Its timing wasn't right, you see. And also, well, we could have this discussion ad nauseum, as they say. But the publishing industry has been going through lots and lots and lots of changes for quite some time now. And, everybody thinks that they know the solution. They know what's going to make it work. And I don't think anybody has it. Okay? Hard work and, just not giving up. That's what seems to make it work. Okay? And you're doing it. So good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And folks, I want to thank all of you who've been on the call with me through this whole thing. You guys are troopers. You're great and wonderful. I hope you got lots of information along the way as my guides were giving information out to all of the different sun signs. And remember, if you didn't get a direct reading with me, I welcome your simple short one. Don't forget, when you send your email, make sure that you include your sun sign, your simple question, what you're most grateful for, okay? And I will see you again on March 17th. Blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and a wonderful March. Bye-bye.